Hello, welcome to Dateline Abuja. I am Omelogo Nadi. The National Conference appears to be a fresh opportunity for Nigerians to take ownership of the governance structures and indeed the nation. Various groups have raised contentious issues like the list of delegates, among others, and on this week's edition of the program, a member of the Presidential Advisory Council on the National Conference explained how they arrived at some of the issues. You may recall that the now-defunct council drafted a template upon which the conference is being held. But first, Nigerians have continued to react to the composition of the National Conference, with some insisting that it is unfairly weighed against the young people of Nigeria. Take a listen.
If you have a country that has 75% of the population is between the ages of 18 and 35, then I think there's a disproportion in representation of the young people who should have a voice in the way we govern ourselves, because they are the future, they are the leaders of the tomorrow, and they should have a say.
This is a view that has been expressed by other people in the country. Delegates at the conference, however, expressed their own view on the matter.
Who are those making the rules? Who is the president? Who is the vice president? These are people who are above 50 years. And whether we like it or not, experience is very, very important in matters like this.
I think that it takes the energy of young people and the experience of the aged to make progress in the society. The unfortunate thing about the Nigerian ruling elite, especially the elderly ones, is that they have not made things easy for themselves by some of the actions that they have taken in the time past.
But we need their experience to start off from. I mean, you have to know history to decide on the present and map out the future. So we need them in our midst. And so far, they have been very interactive. They have helped the younger ones to know what has been on ground.
I think the young people has more stake in this conference. Unfortunately, the selection process has favored the elderly ones.
Now I'm out here on the streets in the Federal Capital Territory to understand from other Nigerians what their views are on this issue.
I so much believe that the youths should have been included, because they say we are the future. Then we realize the future. If the old ones that are still the ones representing us, then when and how are we going to learn? When are we going to contribute our own quota?
Definitely, a conference of this nature is supposed to be a mixture of both old and young people, because there is a generation that is coming up now, and this present generation is the one that feels the pain most, and the one person that wears the shoe is the one that knows where it pinches.
They also spoke on the debate presently ongoing in the conference on the 2/3 or 3/4 vote issue.
2/3 or 3/4 to me is the one that carries the majority, that is the masses, majority of the masses more.
If we look at it generally, we have been adopting 2/3, and that 2/3 is applicable in our election. 2/3 is applicable in the National Assembly, in the State Assembly, in almost everything that is done.
If I may say, simple majority will help us get our desired results.
Now, these Nigerians say when all is said and done, they'll want to see the decisions reached at the National Conference implemented. For them, that will be a big step in the right direction.
Joining me now is Mr. Tony Uranta. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
One of the issues that emerged when the final names of the delegates were released is the exclusion of some ethnic groups. Among them, we have people like the Shakiri, the Ijaw group in Ondo State, the Ogoni people, the Nupe, several other interest groups. We even have people living with disabilities. Recently, we got a press release saying that they were excluded. They are being excluded from the conference.
Well, I think let me cut in there, because this misinformation has gone on for too long. Governor Duaha nominated Chief Jemide to represent the Chekiri. from Delta. Inadvertently, he was not on the first list. But the list that is currently playing and the fact that Chief Jemide was sitting at the inauguration is evident that Chekri are there.
Represented.
Ledum Mitia was sitting at the inauguration. It's evident that Ogoni are there. There are disabled represented at the conference. What's happened is this. The committee which I served on, the advisory committee to the president on the conference, came to the realization that we do not even know how many ethnic nationalities there are in Nigeria. And even if we were to know how many there are, we could not wait. That is, we could not put by virtue of numbers. We could not say, okay, the Yorubas should have X number of delegates, the Nupe should have X number, because none of our censuses in the past have had any sections devoted to enumerating numbers for ethnic nationalities. In fact, there is nowhere in the census forms where they ask which ethnic nationality do you belong to. So we now realize that it would therefore be very dangerous. No matter how many ethnic nationalities you would try to bring in, you could never exclude the possibility that there would still be quite a number of people that will come out and say they have been excluded. We therefore recommended that people, so as to capture ethnic nationalities, people should be recommended by the state governments, recommended by socio-political groups, socio-cultural groups, and special interest groups. And you see, within these parameters, we have been able to capture the majority.
Okay.
That's why there are so few complaints at the moment. But we did not. It is not an ethnic nationalities conference. It is a national conference. As the president rightly said, we have to de-emphasize the lines of ethnicity. Though they are real, I am an Ijo from Rivers State. There are Ijos, like you said, from Ondo State. But we are all Ijos. So there's a real ethnic demarcation. However, we cannot and should not restrict ourselves strictly to this ethnic demarcation, because it will end up being inimical to the development of Nigeria as a nation, united and progressive.
We'll go on a short break now, and when we return, we look at the National Conference and the teething issues.
I'm choosing to act on the sincere conviction that in the truly democratic nation we are striving to build, we must never ignore the loudly expressed views of the majority of our people. Indeed, I am quite worried when I hear people say that some participants in this national conversation are coming here to defend and promote ethnic or clanist agenda. It is very regrettable that there are persons who still believe that we cannot undertake any collective task in our country without the hindrance of ethnic rivalry, even after 100 years of nationhood. This conference gives us an opportunity to prove such persons wrong, and I believe it will. I know the task before you is onerous, but there must be only one winner. And there can only be one winner if we do everything right, and that winner must be Nigeria. And let me again repeat what I've been saying, that Goodluck Jonathan has no personal agenda. I've said it before, and I need to repeat today that I am with the delegates that will discuss these issues.